So that might be the longest package I've ever heard on talkSPORT.
Yeah,
it just happens to be on the back of United League.
Trust me, the one last season for Arsenal was longer. How are you, Andy? How are you feeling?
I don't really know. How I'm feeling.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's the worst it's ever been.
Is that what you think?
I can't remember being bottom of the Premier League, can you?
I can, yeah. Last season.
Yeah, for your club. I think the last time it happened, ironically, was when the Premier League started in '92. Yeah. I mean, listen, I heard Gary Neville's rant yesterday, right? And he blames the owners, which I totally understand. By the way, I'm not sticking up for anyone here. The owners have taken money out of the club. All owners take money out of the club.
Have they been putting a lot in, though?
Well, they've spent £1 billion on players, right? All I will say.
I need more than all you'll say. I need more than that.
I'll say a lot. That group of players that were on the field, irrelevant of who the owners were, irrelevant of who the manager is, irrelevant of the training going into that game, that group of players, when they walked onto the pitch, should have beaten Brentford. And if they shouldn't have beaten Brentford, they should have done a lot more than they did. And that performance, that single performance, and the one against Brighton, has that one there has nothing to do, with the owners, has nothing to do with the state of the club. The club is in a mess, right? But all of that for that 90 minutes, for that 90 minutes.
Look, you're getting emotional in that.
Got a bit of carrot.
You got tissue. You got tissue in there.
Has nothing to do with anything
Why are you
other.
crying?
Shut up. Has nothing to do with anything other than how bad those 11 players were on the pitch.
Why are your eyes watering?
Because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do to you in a minute.
No, listen, those players on the pitch were.
I haven't finished yet.
Well,
Playing Christian Eriksen as a sort of holder, the week after you play him as a false number 9, I still don't understand. Playing Martinez, 5'9", who Gary Neville identified beforehand was a risk up against their two big is an understatement. Pitbull centre forwards. I didn't got. He changed it at half time. But what? Surely a decision like that, you have to understand what you're doing before the game starts. Look at the opposition. Just everything. Just everything. You know, Dave De Gea's mistakes. Okay. Awful, both of them. I'm guessing the second one is because United have been told to play it out from the back, but irrelevant. Awful from him, awful from Eriksen for getting rid of the ball. The first one was just one of those things, but just I can't find a positive to take. And you asked me earlier on whether or not United are in danger of going down. Of course they're not. They're not going to go down. But it would not surprise me if United finish outside the top 10 unless something drastic is done in the next 17 days. And I don't mean, no disrespect, I love Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's not the answer for Man United getting into the top 4.
Not at this stage.
The aim for Man United after 2 games, still top 4, right? Nothing's changed.
And they're not.
No, but do you know what I mean? Nothing's changed in 2 games. No. You can't go from knocking on the door of Champions League to not in 2 games. You can't. Unless nothing's done in the next 17 days. That's still the aim for Man United this season.
Honestly, it was bad. It was bad. I get it. You're trying to play a certain way. Ten Hag wants you to play out from the back, but I think you got away with it twice, and then you got punished the third one when Jensen pops it from Eriksen, which was really clever because he came from the left-hand side, stopping him playing that way, puts it in the net. But I think from David De Gea, he made the mistake for Josh De Silva's goal. Really poor goalkeeping. But I think in that scenario where he's giving it to Eriksen, I think in that situation, he's a senior player. He can say, you know what, we're not doing that again. Everyone get up, squeeze up.
I don't think you can do that. If you've got instructions...
No, you have to.
Erik Ten Hag's already come out and said there's nothing I can do if they don't follow my game plan.
No, but in that scenario, as a player, I'm pretty sure Ten Hag, if you ask him again now, would you rather still do the same things or just let the hair go a bit more direct? He'd say go direct. Ronaldo's good in the air. Just try and hit Ronaldo on that occasion.
What's going to happen with him? What's the deal with him? I mean, he was awful the weekend.
I think you've got to let him go. He doesn't want to.
How do they let him go? What, pay up his contract? Because no one's going to...
Well, they've got to come to some kind of solution because the longer he's there, it's more of a problem. Like, he was brilliant last season, got 24 goals, but as a team, they didn't take any steps forward at all. You've seen the regression in Sancho, in Rashford, even Bruno's form's kind of fallen off a cliff. Maguire, the centre out. I mean, it goes from bad to worse. But I think you can ask for effort. You don't need to be a top quality player to ask for effort. But what you have to do is you have to run around, you have to work hard. And even if you've got no confidence or you're playing well, that's the least you can ask. You just have a go. The players are not even doing that. And Ten Hag with the Martinez playing him at centre half, knowing that he's up against Ivan Toney.
60 million we paid for
and
Martinez.
a lot of people question that, and they said, "Well, is he big? Is he big enough and physical enough to play in this league, even though he's so small?" And then they started to wheel off a lot of players like Cannavaro, who was quite small. I think his name was I can't remember the guy who used to play centre back for For Inter Milan as well, he was quite small as well. There's been a fair few small centre halves, and people made the comparisons. Now they'll be fine. We see firsthand if other teams want to kind of utilise that weakness that you've got, they'll do that. And Brentford did that.
But what does it tell you when the manager changes that at half time, right? So he can see he's got it wrong.
Yeah.
What does it tell you when week 1, Eriksen plays as a false number 9, week 2, he's playing as a holding or a defensive midfielder. Week 2, he doesn't start with Fred and McTominay. He starts with one and then makes a substitution at half-time, brings the other one. What does all that tell you about what's going on in the manager's head?
I think you look in the middle of the park, he's thinking, all right, people don't want to see me play the 2 holders. That's fair enough. I'll go with Eriksen, who's got a bit more quality.
He should know his team, right?
Yeah, but I think he's gone with Eriksen holding because he's got more quality on the ball, and his range of passing usually is very, very good. So he's like, if I get him on the ball and then play a holder next to him, that's a little bit of more impetus. Not 2 holders, but you've got one that's in between, and then you let Bruno go and do his stuff. But it just shows there that you guys either need a top quality to hold a midfield player, one, or unfortunately you have to go and play Fred and McTominay to protect your back 4, which is not by any means good enough at all. It's slow. There's no organisation there. There's no real fear factor. You know, you got some centre halves and you go, don't fancy playing against him today.
Koulibaly, prime example, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't want to play against him.
I wouldn't want to play against him.
You look at this Man United back 4, and I think what summed it up at the end was when they broke for the last one, and Luke Shaw's kind of like, it's not ambling back, but it's almost like in his head he's thinking, do you know what? It's not a problem. If the ball goes in front, I've got more than enough to get there. And when the ball comes and Brian Mbeumo puts his foot down, it's like the realisation kicks in. Oh no!
Yeah, but why is Luke Shaw not just smashed him and brought him down?
Because it'd be a red card.
Oh, but still, I mean,
you've read that red card 3-0 down. That could then turn to 6.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
But Manchester United, where they go from now, and the recruitment. I mean, the list's endless of what's wrong with that football club right now.
What needs to happen in the next 17 days?
You need to bring players.
How many? How many players? 4,
but good players. But I don't think you're going to get that because it's taking you. How long's the window been open? And you can't get one over the line, which is De Jong.
I know.
But then, if you're a top player, though, I don't think the sheer pull of Manchester United as a name brand
is enough.
Now attracts the top players.
No, it's second-tier players United are looking at now.
Well, you've got to now wait till Manchester City.
Let me ask you, if you're Aubameyang and you're at Barcelona, and there's a knock on the door exactly at the same time, one of them's Man United, one of them's Chelsea.
Chelsea all day. 1, they're in the Champions League, and 2, at least there's a clear direction of the club.
What about if Arsenal and Man United knock on the door at the same time?
Arsenal. Tottenham.
That's a sad
Tottenham over Manchester United as well. At this current state right now.